children, welcome to my writing component. Today, our topic will be on information transfer. In this episode, I will be sharing with you the importance of information represented in different forms, linear and non-linear. How to extract information from a linear text and how to transfer that information to a non-linear text and back to a linear text again. Ready? Let's begin. Information in linear and non-linear forms. Information is available in many forms. Information written in sentences and paragraphs are called linear texts, while information in charts and graphs are called non-linear texts. We present information in different forms to serve different purposes. We present information in linear form when we want to write stories, reports, and essays. We want to tell readers in detail about something. On the other hand, we present information in non-linear form because sometimes readers do not have time to read pages and pages of text. So information is presented on a graphic organizer that will help readers understand the gist by just glancing through it. For example, in school, teachers want to see if students can write in English proficiently, so students must write in linear form to show that they can write in complete sentences and organize their thoughts in an essay. Advertisements in magazines and newspapers, on the other hand, have information presented in non-linear form because the idea is to get readers to understand what the product is without having to read the whole description. Therefore, it is important that students know how to pick out information and transfer them from both linear and non-linear forms. Extracting information from a linear text. First, I'm going to show you how to extract information from a linear text. Let's read this text about Encik Bakri and his son Kenny at the mobile phone shop.
Kenny, we are at the phone shop right now.
Yeah, we can buy Mummy's phone.
Let's take a look inside. Come.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How can I help you?
We want to buy a phone for my mother. My mother wants a phone that's simple and not complicated.
May I know your budget?
Around 400 ringgit.
May I suggest this model, the SG1? It's very easy to use. You can record voices and take photographs. You can also send and receive messages to the MMS, Multimedia Messaging Services.
How much is it?
It's only 300 ringgit.
And what about that phone?
And this is the N3. It has the same functions as the SG1, but it's more expensive because it can connect to the internet.
And how much is it?
500 ringgit.
Can you give us any discount?
Oh, I'm sorry, the price is fixed. But I can give you the phone cover for free if you take the N3.
Now, I wonder which phone they would buy. If you were in their shoes, which phone would you buy? Would you buy the SG1 or the N3? Write down the similarities and the differences between the two phones so it will be easier to compare. Using the double bubble map, write down the similarities in the middle bubbles and the differences in the outer bubbles. Ready? Let's check what you've written. These are just suggested answers, so if you have slightly different answers, it's alright as long as you get the main idea. Let's start with the similarities. I have written that both phones can record voices, take photographs, and MMS. Now, there are 3 differences with the phones. The SG1 cannot connect to the internet, like the N3. The SG1 costs 300 ringgit, while the N3 costs 500 ringgit. Finally, the SG1 has no free gift, but the N3 comes with a free phone cover. See how easy it is to compare once you have all the information in a double bubble map? Next, I'm going to show you how to transfer information into a linear text. Transferring information from non-linear text to linear text. Now that we have all the information in the form of a double bubble map, we shall proceed to writing our responses. Pretend that you are Encik Bakri. Which phone would you buy for your wife? When you make your choice, you have to mention why you prefer it over the other phone. There are no right or wrong answers as long as you are able to state your reasons. First, think of reasons for buying the phone and make a short list. Tips: look at the information and use it to say something positive about the product. If you have chosen the SG1, you may buy the phone because it is cheaper, it is easy to use, it is within budget. Meanwhile, if you have chosen the N3, you may buy the phone because it has more features, it comes with a free gift, it is reasonably priced. Choose a phone and write a short paragraph in about 50 words why you made that choice. Here are the suggested answers. Don't worry if they are not the same as yours. There are different ways and styles of writing as long as your sentences are grammatically correct. I would choose the SG1 because it is cheaper than the N3. It costs only 300 ringgit while the N3 costs 500 ringgit. So it is within my budget. Besides that, it is less complicated, so my wife would find it easier to use. I would choose the N3 because it has more features than the SG1. My wife will be able to surf the internet on it. Although it is more expensive, I find it reasonable because it comes with a phone cover for free. Moreover, I do not mind paying extra as it is a gift for my wife. I hope you have gained new knowledge from this video. Till next time, bye!
Hello children, welcome to my writing component. Today I will be sharing with you tips on writing based on a visual stimulus. In this episode, we will be working on using WH questions to describe a picture and using adjectives and adverbs. They say a picture is worth 1,000 words. It's true because if you're observant enough, you can talk about the people, things, and events in great detail. A good description of a picture has two criteria. First, it should answer questions such as, what is this picture about? Who are the people in the picture? What is happening in the picture? Where is the picture taken? Second, your description should have good use of adjectives and adverbs. Adjectives are words that modify the noun, while adverbs are words that modify the verb. They help create an image and help readers understand what the writer is saying. It is very important that you use adjectives and adverbs correctly because if you don't, your sentences will lack detail. But if you use too many adjectives and adverbs in a sentence, it will make your description look redundant. So you must be very clear on where to put your adjectives and adverbs and choose the ones that really help describe what you are saying. Here's a tip. Make a list of adjectives and adverbs. The more vocabulary you know, the easier it is for you to write. Let's look at this picture. Tell me what you see. Now let's brainstorm together. In your circle map, write down as many words as you can that are related to the picture. You can pause this video until you are ready with your answers. Ready? Here is my circle map. It's okay if you don't have the same list as mine. These are my ideas. The words are student, clean, arrange desks, board, notice board, whiteboard, cloth, blackboard, window, sweep, room. What about yours? Now that you have written the words down, let's use these words to help us write sentences. Let's try to make 5 sentences based on the picture and the mind map we have made. Remember, you can use WH questions to help you write descriptions of the picture. Ask yourself questions about what this person is doing or what you see in this picture to help you find the answers. For example, ask yourself, what is this picture about? Easy. It's about a group of students cleaning their classroom. Look at your I think circle map and see what words you can use to construct sentences. In my mind map, I have the word student and clean. So we can write our first sentence like this. A group of students are cleaning their classroom. Here's a tip. Always write your sentences in the present tense when you are describing a picture. If you see a person doing something actively in the picture, you should use the present continuous tense. Let's look at this part of the picture. What do you see? I see a student sweeping the floor. Look at your map and see what words you can use to construct sentences. In my mind map, I have the words sweep, floor, and broom. So I can write my sentence like this. There is a student sweeping the floor with a broom. Great! Let's look at the picture again. Let's write a sentence about this student. What is this person doing? this student is cleaning the board. Look at the mind map you've created and see what words you can use to make sentences. In my mind map, I have the words student, clean, and board. So my sentence should look like this. There is a student cleaning the board. Now, let's look at this student. What is this student doing? Yes, it looks like this student is arranging the desk. Look at your mind map and see what words you can use. In my mind map, I have the word student and the phrase arrange desk. So my sentence should look like this. There is a student arranging the desks. Now, let's look at this student. What do you think is happening? It looks like the student is cleaning the window. Look at your circle map and see which words you can use to construct a sentence. In my circle map, I have the words student, clean, window. So I can construct my sentence like this. There is a student cleaning the window. Well done! Let's read the sentences again. We have constructed the following sentences. A group of students are cleaning the classroom. There is a student sweeping the floor with a broom. There is a student cleaning the board. There is a student arranging the desks. There is a student cleaning the window. That was easy, wasn't it? But you know, we are still missing something. That's right, the sentences lack detail. We need to describe the students and how they are cleaning the classroom. We can use adjectives to describe the students, while we can use adverbs to describe how they are doing things. Here's another circle map. These are the words I have come up with. Diligent, hardworking, neatly, wet, dirty, long, together, messy, dusty, tidily, carefully, slowly. Look at the sentences again and see how we can use the words we have brainstormed to add more detail. Let's look at sentence number 1. A group of students are cleaning the classroom. We should add an adjective before students and classroom, and an adverb before cleaning. Look at your circle map and choose suitable words to add to the sentence. From my mind map, I think I'm going to use the word hardworking, messy, and together. When I've added the adjectives and adverbs, my sentence will look like this. A group of hardworking students are cleaning the messy classroom together. See what a big difference it makes when you've added adjectives and adverbs? Now, let's try this with sentence number 2. Look at your mind map and choose suitable adjectives. You can add an adjective for student, floor, or broom. You don't have to add adjectives for every noun. Then choose an adverb for the verb sweeping. From my mind map, I'm going to use the word long and carefully. This is what my sentence will look like with adjectives and adverbs. The student is sweeping the floor carefully with a long broom. Don't stop practicing. We have 3 more sentences. For the third sentence, think of a suitable adverb for cleaning. From my circle map, I think I'm going to use the word slowly. By adding the word slowly, it adds more detail to the verb cleaning. There is a student cleaning the board slowly. Next, for the fourth sentence, I am going to use the word neatly. Remember, you don't have to use too many adjectives and adverbs in one sentence, but make sure you have at least one. So my sentence will look like this. There is a student arranging the desk neatly. Finally, for the last sentence, look at your circle map and see which word is suitable to use. From my circle map, I am going to use the word dusty, here's my sentence. There is a student cleaning the dusty window. There you have it. Let's look at all the 5 sentences after we have added the adjectives and adverbs. A group of hard-working students are cleaning the messy classroom together. The student is sweeping the floor carefully with a long broom. There is a student cleaning the board slowly. There is a student arranging the desk neatly. There is a student cleaning the dusty window. I hope you have learned new things from this video, and I hope to see you again. Till next time, bye! Hello children, welcome to the world of language arts. Our topic today is enjoying poems. The poem we will be looking at today is Holiday Memories by June Crabbin. The poem can be found in the year 4, 5, and 6 Anthology of Poems. Reading poems aloud. Poems are exciting because they express the writer's thoughts and feelings and help readers make connection to their experiences. Poems capture experiences and paint pictures with words. If you try to use your imagination while reading a poem, then you have truly captured the essence of the poem. Let's look at the title. Holiday Memories. What do you think the poem is about? Yes, it's about the writer's holiday experience. I'm sure you've been on holidays, right? How did you spend your last holiday? Did you do some traveling? Did you do anything interesting, or did you just stay at home? In your worksheet, jot down the things that you did during the holidays. There are many ways to spend a holiday, and this is what the poet is trying to say. The poet tells us about how she spent her holiday in the most unusual way. Now, before we read the poem aloud, here are some tips to help you. Know the poem. People expect that they understand the poem the first time they read it. Well, you don't have to put such high expectations on yourself. Poems are meant to be enjoyed, so read the poem to yourself a few times and familiarize yourself with it. That way, when you read the poem aloud, you will read it confidently. Identify the speaker in the poem. Who is the speaker in the poem? Is it an old man, a lady, a child, or an animal? What kind of attitude and voice would this character have in the poem? If you can change your voice to suit the character in the poem, that's even better. Understand the meaning of the poem. What does the poem mean? Take your time to read and understand the issues the poet is trying to say, because it will affect how you should read the poem. If the poem is about pollution, then it's very inappropriate if you read the poem happily. Understand the poem first so you can read the poem in an appropriate tone. As mentioned, this poem is about a child sharing his or her holiday experience. So when you are talking about something fun and exciting like going on a holiday, you should sound excited too. Study difficult or unfamiliar words in the poem. There may be words in the poem that you don't know its meaning or pronunciation. Look up those words in the dictionary to help you understand the poem better. Identify words that need to be emphasized. Some words need to be emphasized because it gives the poem an extra punch. Try to identify the words you want to emphasize. For example, I wrestled with a jaguar and bored a kangaroo. The poet did two very different things in those two lines. Wrestling with a jaguar is a very rough physical activity. Meanwhile, he or she also bored a kangaroo. So maybe we should emphasize the words wrestled and bored. You can say wrestled with a big manly voice. Wrestled! And then you can use a slow voice and say bored. Even better if you add a yawn. I wrestled with a jaguar and I bored a kangaroo. You can also emphasize the word jaguar and kangaroo to show the different animals the poet had seen. I wrestled with a jaguar and bored a kangaroo. See what a difference it makes when you emphasize different words? So have fun and play around with the words. Don't be shy. Read with emotion. Finally, it's important that you understand the emotion behind the poem. Don't read like a robot. Think of different ways you can convey feelings when you are reading the poem. This poem is about the poet doing crazy things like wrestling with animals, traveling to faraway places, and meeting pirates during the holidays. So think, how can you express all that excitement while reading the poem? Take your time to digest all the tips I have shared with you. When you are ready, let's read the poem together. Okay, here goes.
Holiday Memories by June Craven. When I was on holiday, I went to Timbuktu. I wrestled with a jaguar and bored a kangaroo. I journeyed into jungles. I swam the deepest sea. I climbed the highest mountain and a money puzzle tree. I chatted to a seagull. I met a big baboon. I floated on a moonbeam until I reached the moon. I visited the planets. I lit up all the stars. I gossiped to a parrot, traveling to Mars. I sailed across the ocean. I drove a Greyhound bus. I rode across the desert on a hippopotamus. I heard a mermaid singing. I fought a killer shark. I grappled with a grizzly in a wild safari park. I chased a band of pirates completely around the bend. And now the summer's over, and so this is the end.
Wow, what a wonderful poem! Now, let's take a look at the worksheet. After reading this poem, let's complete Task 2 and 3. Task 2. What is the message behind this poem? Let's think. What is the poet trying to tell us? Read the poem again. What can you say about the activities the poet did? Do you spend your holidays like the poet? If not, how is it different from your holiday experience? That's right. Most of the things the poet did are based on imagination. I don't think anyone has floated on a moonbeam and visited all the planets and lit the stars. So the poet is trying to tell us to be creative and imaginative in thinking. Based on the poem, can you list out the places the poet has been to? In the tree map, list out places the author has been that are in this world and places that are out of this world. Here are my answers. Places that are in this world: Timbuktu, sea, safari park, mountain, desert, jungle. Places that are out of this world: planets, moon, Mars, stars. Follow my tips, and with a lot of practice, I'm sure you will be great at reciting poems in no time. That's all the time we have today. Till next time. Bye! Hello children! Welcome to my language arts segment. The title of this episode is Enjoying Graphic Novels, Understanding the Story. In this video, we are going to cover one of my favorite graphic novels, Gulliver's Travels. First, we will be looking at the book cover to predict what the story is all about. Second, we will go through the important events in the novel. Third, we will attempt to recall the important events in sequence. Ta-da! Here's a copy of the graphic novel, Gulliver's Travels, one of my favorite stories when I was young, just like you. Can you guess what the novel is about? I'll give you a hint. The answer lies in the title. The title gives it away, actually. Yes, that's right. Gulliver is the name of a person. And what about the word travels? Yes, travel means to go on a trip to visit another place. It's about Gulliver traveling somewhere, so that means this story is about adventure. Isn't it exciting? We can also guess what the novel is all about from the cover. Let's look at the cover of the book closely and try to answer my questions. What can you see here? Yes, a man, and he is huge. Look at the little people at the bottom. Why do you think he's so big? And why do you think the people at the bottom are so small? What is he doing? Oh, he's actually pulling some ships. What a strong man! Oh look, there's a blurb. A blurb tells you the summary of the story. Listen. Lemuel Gulliver always dreamed of sailing across the seas, but he never could have imagined the places his travels would take him. On the island of Lilliput, he is captured by tiny creatures no more than 6 inches tall. In the land of giants, he is nearly squashed by an army of giants. His adventures could be the greatest tales ever told, if he survives to tell them. Wow! A story about tiny creatures and giants! How interesting! Now I cannot wait to read it to you. Chapter 1. Voyage to Lilliput. Lemuel Gulliver loved sailing. On the 4th of May 1699, he set sail with Captain Pritchard. On his voyage, the ship was caught in a storm and he was stranded on an unknown island. He woke up and found himself surrounded by little people. The little people captured him and tied him up. Chapter 2. Meeting the Emperor. The little people took Gulliver to the Emperor. He begged the Emperor to be freed. The Emperor said he could only leave on a few conditions. One of it was he had to help Lilliput fight their enemy, Blefuscu. Chapter 3. The War with Blefuscu. Reldresal, a council member, told him that he needed to fight the Blefuscudians who planned to invade the land of Lilliput. Gulliver managed to capture their entire fleet. The Emperor ordered Gulliver to bring in the Blefuscudians as prisoners, but Gulliver refused. This made the Emperor very angry. 3 weeks later, the residents of Blefuscu invited Gulliver to their kingdom. The Emperor of Lilliput was even more upset. However, Gulliver got the opportunity to gain the Emperor's trust when a fire broke out at the palace. Guess what he did? He put out the fire by urinating on it. Ew! A council member informed him secretly that the council was charging him for dishonoring the palace and showing disloyalty to Lilliput, all because he planned to visit Blefuscu. The council member also informed him that he will be put to death the following morning. Sensing the danger that lies ahead, Gulliver left for Blefuscu and was greeted well by the people. With their help, he left for his homeland on the 24th of September 1701. He arrived in England and told the people his adventures with the tiny people. They did not believe him until he showed them the tiny animals that he had brought along. Chapter 4, Land of Giants. Gulliver missed traveling, so the following year, he set sail with Captain John Nicholas and his crew to explore the Great Island. Left behind by the others on the island, Gulliver encountered giants in the cornfield. One of the giants picked him up and the terrified Gulliver begged for his life. The giant brought Gulliver to his master, who then invited him for a meal. At the master giant's home, Gulliver met his daughter, Glumdalclitch. He took care of him and he became a country performer for the family. One day, Gulliver was so popular that he was sold to the Queen of Giants. Chapter 5, A Wild Escape. One day, Gulliver and Glumdalclitch traveled to the south coast with the King and Queen of Giants. Gulliver traveled in a traveling box which was also his home. A royal servant took him for a walk along the shore. He started to miss home. After a while, he returned to take a nap inside his traveling closet when suddenly the closet was carried away by a large bird. The bird dropped the closet into the sea. Stranded at sea, he started shouting loudly for rescue. Fortunately, some sailors heard him and rescued him from the sea. They did not believe his adventures in the land of the giants until they saw the gigantic objects that he had in his cabinet. He returned safely to England and heeded his family and friends' request to stop sailing anymore. Wow, wasn't that an interesting story, children? I know I enjoyed it. Did you manage to complete the worksheet? Let's look at it together. For number 1, it says the 4th of May, 1699. What do you think happened on this date? If you remember, the story begins with Gulliver setting sail with someone. Do you remember the person's name? The answer is he set sail with Captain Pritchard. Did you get it correct? You did? Well done. Number 2, when his ship got caught in a storm, where did he land? This is easy. He landed on Lilliput Island. Number 3, where did he go to escape the Emperor of Lilliput? Remember the enemy of Lilliput? Yes, he ran to Blefuscu. Number 4. Okay, this is a tough one. What happened on the 20th of June, 1702? That's 1 year after he returned to England. Remember? After 1 year, he was starting to get very bored. That's right, he left England with Captain John Nicholas and his crew. Number 5. Finally, what happened after he managed to escape back to England? In the end, he stopped sailing and stayed in England. Did you get all the answers correct? You did! Well done! This means you have understood the story well and you are able to identify the important events in the story. Now, before I end my session, I'm going to leave you with a question to ponder. There's no right or wrong answer, but I want you to think as creatively as you can. The question can be found in task 2 of your worksheet. If you were Gulliver, would you stay in England or continue traveling? If you wish to stay in England, how would you spend the rest of your life? And if you choose traveling, where would you like to explore? Which would you prefer? And give me reasons why. That's all the time I have. Till next time, bye children!
Hello children, welcome to my listening and speaking component. Today I have a very special topic for you. Our topic is making suggestions. In this episode, we will be covering these 3 skills: making suggestions, accepting suggestions, and refusing suggestions. I will be sharing with you tips on the different phrases and sentences we use for the skills mentioned and when to use them appropriately. By the end of this episode, I hope you will all be better at conversing socially in English. Making suggestions. First, we have to understand why we have to learn this function of language. I'm sure you have faced this situation before. You and your family are hungry and don't know where to eat. You and your friends are bored and don't know what to do. What did you do in these situations? That's right, someone would start giving suggestions. Knowing how to give suggestions is a very important skill in English because we are just giving ideas, not telling people what to do. There is a difference between ordering someone to do something and giving suggestions.
What do you think we should eat tonight?
Chicken rice.
What do you think we should eat tonight?
I want chicken rice.
So the goal is to give ideas to someone without pressuring the person to accept the ideas. Therefore, when giving ideas, we should always try to sound less direct and commanding. We can achieve this by using the modal verb could and should. For example, imagine that you want to suggest having chicken rice for dinner to your family. Using a modal verb followed by a base verb, you can say, we could eat chicken rice tonight, or we should eat chicken rice tonight. Notice the modal verb could and should, followed by the base verb eat in both sentences.
What do you think we should eat tonight?
We should eat chicken rice tonight.
Good idea.
To sound even more polite, add maybe.
What do you think we should eat tonight?
Maybe we should eat chicken rice tonight.
Good idea.
Another way to give suggestions is by asking a question. You can use either one of these formulas. Why don't, followed by the subject and a base verb. What about, followed by a verb plus ing. How about, followed by verb plus ing. Why don't we eat chicken rice tonight? What about eating chicken rice tonight? How about eating chicken rice tonight? All of these sentences are acceptable. Finally, you can also use this formula. Let's plus base verb. Let's have chicken rice tonight. It's so easy! So I've shared with you 3 ways to give suggestions in English. Use the modal verb could and should. Ask a question using why don't, what about, and how about. Beginning your sentence with let's. Accepting suggestions. Now let us look at how to accept suggestions. In order to accept suggestions politely, we should begin by praising the idea. Ideally, you should sound enthusiastic and appreciative of the person's suggestion. We can praise someone's idea by saying, "That's a good idea."
What do you think we should eat tonight?
Maybe we should eat chicken rice tonight.
That's a good idea.
You can also show that you accept the suggestion by agreeing to the person. You may say, "Okay, Yes, let's. Yes, I'd love to. Yes, I'd like to. You can also reply with a question. You may say, sure, why not? Refusing suggestions. In some situations, you may not like or agree with somebody's idea. You may refuse directly by saying,
What do you think we should eat tonight?
Maybe we should have some chicken rice.
No. What do you think we should eat tonight?
Maybe we should have some chicken rice.
I don't feel like it.
These responses are correct, but depending on who you are speaking to, these responses may not be appropriate, especially if you are speaking to someone older. Therefore, it is also very important to reject the idea politely without hurting people's feelings. You may use this sentence.
What do you think we should eat tonight?
Maybe we should have some chicken rice.
No, I'd rather not.
Alright.
Or you may refuse the idea gently by praising and then giving another idea.
What do you think we should eat tonight?
Maybe we should have some chicken rice.
That's a good idea. But why don't we have nasi lemak instead?
Alright.
Or by asking the person to think of more ideas.
What do you think we should eat tonight?
Maybe we should have some chicken rice.
Let's keep thinking.
Alright.
These methods are a better alternative than rejecting the ideas directly. This way, you are saying you are looking for other suggestions without sounding rude to the person who has made suggestions. There are certain formulas that we should follow when we make suggestions. Use a modal verb, could and should. Asking a question using why don't, what about, and how about. Beginning your sentence with let's. When we accept suggestions, we can either praise the suggestion, agree with the person, reply with a question. Finally, we should refuse a suggestion politely in order to avoid hurting other people's feelings. Refuse gently. Thank the person and then refuse politely. Asking for more suggestions. Keep practicing and I'm sure you'll be better at socializing in English in no time. That's all from me today. Till next time, bye-bye.